Hello there, my name is McHorse, and welcome to Blockbuster 2.3 changelog video. In this video I'll show you new features added to Blockbuster 2.3. Before we'll get into this video, I'm announcing that I'm quitting Minecraft modding. By now, multiple updates of my mods were released. I'm still finishing modding Mapit, but at the moment, I don't intend to work anymore on my mods like Blockbuster, Metamorph, Aperture, Emoticons, and etc. I believe they are more or less complete. I have multiple reasons for quitting. 1. I don't enjoy updating mods anymore. It takes a long time. For example, for this update of my mods, it took almost 4 months to get it out. Besides, people weekly put a pressure on me by asking updating to newer versions. These comments depreciate my already colossal work, and make me very unhappy. 2. I don't find the growth of my mods following satisfiable anymore. Yet, I know that the mod is niche, but it would have been so nice if big YouTubers openly gave a shout out to my mods. Instead of that, there are multiple big YouTube channels that keep the mod to themselves. This also depreciates my work, as these big YouTubers shove money into their pockets, while I spent multiple months working on mod updates for free, and without any compensation. There were a handful of people who supported me on Patreon, but $100 isn't enough to survive. I'll still look out for critical bugs and crashes for about a month or so after the release of my mods, but after that I won't participate in the development. I don't want to fully close this opportunity, so I'm not saying that I'm quitting modding forever. I reserve the right to add features that I may need for commissions or my own YouTube videos though. I still appreciate everyone who has used my mods to create new stuff and shared my work by either crediting in the description or telling in the video itself, but modding is no longer viable for me. Anyways, let's get started. First and foremost important feature to get out of the way before I'll start reviewing real features is that now all of my mods comes with support for operator users, meaning that only OP players can edit the server data, which should allow server owners using my mods without a fear that some random dude will change something and will break the map. You still might want to back up your server regularly. However, if you're in single player and happen to record in a world that you downloaded online that has commands disabled, this will affect your ability to edit scenes and actors as well. MacLib 2.3 comes with a new command called cheats, which allows to toggle commands in single player. Simply type into the chat, cheats true, and press enter, and you should be able to use Blockbuster's panels again. Now come actual Blockbuster features. If you ever recorded and were in the middle of recording like, nah, I don't like it, now you can cancel the recording process by executing action cancel command in the chat. Alternatively, you can use pause scene keybind to cancel recording as well, which is right shift by default. If you ever tried using opacity in your scenes, it probably didn't work out really well, didn't it? Here is an example with a translucent Alex. As you can see, Steve is partially erased when he walks behind translucent Alex. I won't go deep into why it happens, but Blockbuster 2.3 features a workaround for that. First, go to Blockbuster's mod options and enable always render actors. Second, go back to scenes menu and enable render last on all translucent actors in the scene. That should fix Steve appearing correctly behind translucent Alex. Finally, in this update, structure morph was fixed, and there are a couple of awesome features were added, thanks to NyaNLI. So here we have a tower structure that I'm quickly going to set up. First, new structure morph supports transformations, that is translation, scale, and rotation, so you can change the size, move around, and tilt structures without using an empty morph. Second, new structure morph supports animations. It works the same way as animated poses work. Here is a small example using sequencer morph. And then we have Nya's new awesome features. First one is the ability to change the biome of the structure morph. It will affect the color of grass and leaves blocks, which will allow easier incorporation of structure morphs into places with non-default biomes. And second option is lighting. It's not the same lighting option that makes structure morphs fully glow as in other morphs. What it does is uses structure's local lighting. Here is an example. Here is me with the torch, and as you can see, lighting changes depending on how close I am with the torch. When I'll disable lighting option, the structure morph will have its own lighting regardless of what is happening in the world. Amazing. Before we'll get into the final section, Chryfi added a couple of epic features to the Blockbuster's Snowstorm particle system. For entity collision, Chryfi added inertia as a new physics mechanic. Inertia is the resistance of any physical object to any change in its velocity. Basically, it's that thing that makes you fall backwards when the train accelerates again. If particles land on the top of an entity's hitbox while it moves, they will experience inertia. The effect of inertia is dependent on the collision drag. With no collision drag, you won't have any inertia. With a lot of collision drag, particles will almost stick to the surface. The scale of the emitter. For example, the body part can now affect the particle's scale. There is also an option to scale the texture size. These options can be used separately. Another new physics mechanic is tangential velocity. The rotation of a body part can now affect particle velocity. However, there are some limitations due to how Minecraft and my mods work. The radius for the velocity calculation is the translation of the body part. You can also control how strong the effect is. Local velocity takes the velocity of the emitter and adds it to the particle's velocity vector. When the particle spawns, you can control the strength here too. Realistic collision drag option is an improvement to the existing collision drag. A big difference is that when a particle doesn't collide anymore, the drag won't be applied anymore. This means that particles can slow down on a block, but fall down fast again. And the remaining features are related to new built-in models that come with Blockbuster by default. First model is very narcissistic. In Blockbuster 2.3, my avatar will come with the mod. It can be found in Blockbuster Extra category. Now you can make machinima about me without having to ask me for my model. Haha. If you want to use the model with emoticons, here is a simple guide. Pick default emoticons morph. Pick the skin from Blockbuster entity McHorse skin.png. This looks weird without the head overlay. Then, go to body parts and add McHorse/head model on top of it. That should be it. Everything else after this point is about Eils models. Looking at these models you may say, oh, those are just default models. However, if I'll rotate them towards me, you'll see that those have 3D heads. These models are configured specifically to be used with eyes rigs, as the 3D head can cover the eyes holes. The eye holes were configured using eye masks that come with Blockbuster as well, and after configuring, you can easily add an eyes rig on top of the head. While staying on the topic of masks, Blockbuster 2.3 also comes with skin masks, which allow to hide parts of the skin, without removing a limb, or erasing pixels from the texture. So here I have an emoticons morph with a skin applied. I'll enable multi-skin, duplicate a skin entry, and we'll go to Blockbuster's skin masks folder. Here we can see lots of masks that can be used to remove different body parts from the skin. There are separate body parts like body and bodywear masks, but there are also masks that fully erase a body part like fullhead.png, that removes both head and outer head layers. Speaking of erasing a head, Blockbuster 2.3 comes with head models, which can be used with emoticons morph to cover up the eye holes. Finally, Blockbuster 2.3 comes with two variants of IceRig 3.0, 2 pixel high and 1 pixel high. The skins for all IceRigs should go to Blockbuster's Ice 3.0 skins folder. You can open the folder by opening the folder in the model editor. Beside 3.0 IceRig, Blockbuster 2.3 comes with a new IceRig 3.1, which features way more emotion poses, and it also has bends, which allow for a far greater range of emotions than bendless IceRig 3.0. Beside that, this update also comes with a simplified 3.1 IceRig that has only one subdivision. Use this IceRig if you want sharper bends. If you want to adjust the bending manually, you can do it in the shape key editor after creating a new pose. Add as many shape keys as you want, and adjust the factor value which is responsible for the extent of the bend. Positive and negative values can be used to determine the direction of the bend. So yeah, that's pretty much how you edit the customized rig pose with bends. Well, that's pretty much it. I hope that this update wasn't too disappointing. Haha. Thank you for using my mods and watching this video, and goodbye.